Good morning to you. I was reminded of a Marianne Williamson quote this morning, just a little while ago. She said something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing here, when I take time in the morning to connect, to tune in, to compose myself, I may not guarantee that I'll show up as the best version of myself, but I can guarantee that I won't show up as the worst version of myself. And I like that. I like that because it's, when I read that, her book is The Law of Divine Compensation. Really good book if you ever come across it. Not a long one, but lots of things in there that really speak and spark, as it were. Anyway, what I like about that is it speaks to the humanity of our experience, and that we can set an intention, and we may get there with it, we may get there with it, right? But doing something will guarantee that we're better than our worst version of ourselves, okay? And so I'm starting there, because today we're going to do a work. It's the new moon, today, tomorrow, this sort of period. It's the new moon, and the new moon in Scorpio, which is about, well, I'm a fan of Scorpio because Scorpio is my ascendant, okay? So this is kind of home territory for me. Scorpio is the depth of us coming to the surface. And it's been an interesting week astrologically, okay? Because, let me see, gosh, there was that Jupiter-Pluto transit, I think Wednesday, Thursday it was. And just to talk English for a moment here, Jupiter is a magnifier. Pluto is about transformation. Pluto is about shedding things, okay? So you put those two together and boom, okay? Also today, a very long, like a 4-month-long Mars retrograde cycle ends. And I personally am grateful to see the other end of it, because well, Mars is a what's the word? Warrior sign, attrition, and so on. I'm just a little tired of it, to be honest with you. so glad for this today. Now, let me say as well, happy Diwali to any of you who recognise it. You can see by my room here, I'm a fan of the lights. I grew up in London, okay, so Diwali celebrations were just a facet of life for me growing up. Go to Trafalgar Square, and there'd be the big gatherings there, and it would be super fun. Anyway, happy Diwali if you recognise it. Okay, so Scorpio and new moon. I'm talking now, by the way, because I want to give context to this, because once I get started, I'm really not going to be talking much at all, right? Scorpio, the inner stuff. What's the opportunity here? What is the opportunity we've got? Well, the big opportunity is to work in a more conscious way with our discomfort. Because what happens with us? We get uncomfortable, and then we act all awkward. Okay, you've probably, if you've tuned into me doing these before, you've seen me be awkward hundreds of times. Okay, and awkwardness is an inefficient way to work with our discomfort. An efficient way to work with our discomfort is to let it move, upwards and through. And when it gets to around about here, and you all know what's, oh, sorry, you can't see, there, when it gets to there, it gets harmonized, it gets neutralized, as it were. That's the heart center. It doesn't have an opposite. And so with Scorpio, what's going on is that those depths are coming up anyway. The stuff we don't like to think about is coming up anyway. And how we feel about what we don't like to think about is coming up anyway. May as well do something conscious with it. I'm going to very briefly talk about something that I never talk about, which is sexuality. And I am not talking about the externalized sexuality that pervades our culture, our music, our movies. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the inner process of it, because there's so much power in it. There's so much power in sexuality. It's a creative energy. The trouble with us humans is it tends to get all stuck in the first 3 centers down here, and then we do we do any number of unwise things with it. We externalize it, or we shut it down, or I mean that covers that's the root of most of the things we do with it. Okay, and a far wiser thing to do with sexuality and sexual energy, because there's no getting away from it, is to let it move up here, and ideally, if we can, even further up. And that is a different story for a different day. I'm talking about it now because sexuality and inner sexuality is a strong part of the Scorpio energy. And if you can just imagine for a moment, we as a collective being more comfortable with sexual energy, our sexuality, other people's sexual energy, we would be a vastly more peaceful society. And that's just the beginning of it. To be able to use that energy wisely, creatively, my God. So that's something that's been in my mind for this today as well. So I know I've talked a lot there, and I'm pretty much done. What I like to do on these occasions with the new moon energy, because it's a peaceful energy, all right? It's an evocative energy, not like the full moon, which is blaring and loud and bright. The new moon is quiet. And so I like to work with the gong, and yes, it's inverted here. The irony is not lost on me that it says Wuhan on here, okay? It's not lost on me. Wuhan is a beautiful region of China, sullied by the events of this year. But anyway, I love this gong. How I work with the gong in these events is use it in almost like a shamanic drumming way, a rhythmic, a pulsing way. And what we're looking to do is evoke something comfortably from within you, okay? We're looking to allow, please hear me as I say this, we're looking to allow toxic emotions to move out fluidly and gracefully. Now, if you hear me say that and you have a thought like, I don't have toxic emotions, well, I'm not pointing fingers here. We all got something inside us we're uncomfortable with and we want to shift. You may have experienced in the last week some stomach complaints. And when I say stomach, I mean, here I go again, I mean more in the solar plexus area, okay? So higher than that, digestive issues, because we process food in the same area and region that we process energy and emotions. So that's what we're looking to support here. And rather than me leading and guiding and so on, and putting my own print on it, I want to create an environment that it can evoke from you fluidly. Now, the intention, or I was about to say the intention I have, but what more to the point, what Spirit's asked me to do is along the lines of a heart and solar plexus integration. We could speak volumes about each chakra and how it corresponds with the other one, but those two together, they're important. If what was going on in the solar plexus was allowed to move into the heart more frequently, my God, we would be so much happier. So, that's a lot of talking. I'm not getting into intentions any further for today. I'll speak about that later. All you need to do is, if you would like to get comfortable, and there's nothing you need to do. I may be using my voice tonally rather than verbally. Right, yeah, I'm just rambling now. Take a breath with me. There we go. Okay. Blessed Mother, Father, God goddess, sweet essence of love, purity, sweetness, wholeness that pervades all around us, through us. I call on that within myself, within each of us that have chosen to be together this morning for sacred connection to the new moon, for support through Scorpio, or fluid movement of energy through us, and a longer intention of being better able to work with that. As we connect together, so we as one group, we connect to the Earth Mother below us, beneath us. We connect to that core, to that robustness, to that connection, to that wholeness beneath us. We ground ourselves. And we call to the presence of the Father Sky above us. We call to the very loving angels all around us, so that we may sit in clear, safe, open and sacred space, that our spirit can be comfortable to open up within, to receive within, and to relax within. I call the presence of our higher selves, our greater aspect, to lead us and to tune our energy field to receive what we need to and to release what we need to from this time together. I'm very, very grateful for this time. I'm very grateful for each one that's choosing to be together and anchor for this. Call forth the very highest good in appreciation, in love and gratitude. And we say, Amen. Let's take a deep breath. Let's close our eyes. keep your eyes closed for some moments now, if you would, please. And just noticing how the flow of energy from your base to your crown is a little easier, it's a little more fluid. And just be with this flow for a few moments. Given that we are beginning the day here. We're beginning a lunar cycle here. And in this moment of quiet, peace and serenity, let us ask ourselves what are the toxic, the unsupportive emotions of our way and our behavior that are always looking to be released from us, to leave us, that do not want to be a part of our sphere, our cycle and our way. Can we love ourselves enough to allow these to leave us so that we are not giving so much energy to suppressing, so that we are not cleaning up after ourselves when we externalize them? Can we make friends with our breath? Which will support this. Can we extend this degree of love to ourselves, of understanding and of compassion to ourselves? The more that we cast light, that we shine love upon our shadow, the smaller it becomes, and the more of who we truly are. Simply emanates and cascades through and from us. Let's take a deep breath to the heart now, please. As I was researching, you can open your eyes now if you like. As I was researching into this general time, the advice, guidance from several other people who do things similar to myself is to leave intentions to setting intentions to Monday, to allow this weekend to pass. And I cannot remember why in this exact moment. I think some cycles are still completing, but I would suggest that. And I like that idea because sometimes when I've participated in these things, because I'm human, honestly, I've forgotten about them by the next day. So maybe if you want to make a note for yourself to set intentions, maybe at the start of the working week, as it were. Yeah. So. Thank you all so much for being with me. I say um's one of mine. Notice how often I say is one of my awkward things. I will work on that. Thank you all so much for joining me. I know there are lots of other moony type things out there, and I appreciate you taking this time with me. I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend. A wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will be doing readings on Tuesday evening. I'll be doing the causal body sound harmonization on Wednesday, I believe. My wife Anna and Lewis, who some of you I'm sure will know by now, they're doing a super DNA activation on the 22nd. 22nd. I'm going to share that. I think I've already shared that. Those of you who are subscribed to me on Patreon, you get a big discount on that. So let me know if you're interested in that, and I gladly will pass that along. And for now, I just want to say love to you all. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon.